What's up, Aquarius? It's your girl Tasha, aka Mama Jim, aka Jim the Butterfly. I am here with your beloved 18 Tarot Scope. Let's see what we have going on. Thank y'all for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my videos, commenting. It looks like I'm still resonating with those Aquariuses because you guys are like, yeah, that's on point. So thank you so much, guys. I'm glad that these videos are resonating with you and your situation. All right. Follow me on Instagram. Jim the Butterfly, GEM_tarot on Instagram. All right. And let's find out what we have. All right, Aquarius, let's see what we got. Yes. Get one more card. Wow, Aquarius. Okay, so wow. Some of you, okay. Who was I talking to? That was I think it was Sagittarius. Your reading is very similar to Sagittarius. If you have, I think it's Sagittarius. Yeah. If you have some Sagittarius in your chart, you're dealing with the Sagittarius Aquarius, I feel like you need to watch that video because you guys are mirroring each other. I see for you this month, you have there stability, long-term plans, long-range plans, family planning, business planning, familiar lineage is on your mind. That's where you are. Okay? You're planning for the future. And by the looks of these cards, I feel like it's because you have met somebody. And I feel like I think that's what I said last month for you guys. I'm trying to I can't remember everything that I've been saying, but I feel like that's what has been going on. Like you're in the planning phase right now with a particular person. And the thing about it is too, it's also now that I feel like you're moving from one situation to the next, or maybe you're entering a new situation after being single for a while, you're very adamant in your communication with yourself and your communication with the other person about how you're going to deal with finances, about what you're looking for long term. I feel like if you're single, you're not dealing with, because you're wanting something more solid, a long-term commitment, friends with benefits, just is somebody who's not sure about what they want. You want somebody who's on the same page as you this month, Aquarius. Because you've been there and you've done that. And you're putting that out there into the universe. You're speaking that into yourself. You're speaking that to whoever you're with, whoever can listen. I feel like that's what you're doing, and I feel like you're making preparations for. I feel like if you're in a situation where you're about to get married or you're about to move in with someone, you are voicing how you feel about the division of finances, who does what gender roles. These are the things, child rearing, especially if there are children involved. I don't see any children, but I feel like there may be some children involved with this situation. You're putting it out there, okay? Because what you're trying to do, what you're wanting to do is to eliminate some of the issues that I feel like you felt surfaced up in previous relationships. You're trying not to repeat a pattern, okay? And with your challenge, I feel like, honestly, with your challenge, you're going to be pleasantly surprised that this person, let me just say this, because we know you, Aquarius, like you're not just about to get in something willy-nilly, okay? You've done your research. And I feel like it gives me the feeling that you are approaching to have, you're preparing to have this type of conversation with this person. And you guys have touched on certain things, but you really didn't get deep for whatever reason. but you're actually going to be pleasantly surprised that they're on the same page with you on more things that you than what you thought, because it's a different type of scenario when you're just dating someone. Because again, I feel like two people are coming to combine something together. I do have the Two of Cups here. It's coming up in your challenge position, but it's also coming with the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like when I asked what did the I needed a clarification for the Tower card, and I got the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Cups. And to me, it's that you actually you were deceiving yourself and thinking that this person is not going to go for some of the things that you're asking for. Okay. Now I just heard for some of you asking for a prenup. Now, whatever, but I feel like you have clear cut defined boundaries that you're asking for this person to respect in whatever shape, form, or fashion. And unbeknownst to you, they actually accept, they're okay with that. And I feel like they're okay with it, because I actually feel like they have some requests for themselves on their behalf as well. And you're going to have to uphold to their request. Your advice this month is for the Ace of Swords. Speaking your truth. We've already kind of talked about this actually. Speaking your truth and communicating what you feel that you need. High Priest. Yeah, again, it's time to open your mouth. Like, I feel like for some of you, too, if this is not about establishing roles and what's the word I'm looking for? Expectations within a relationship. This is about being honest, and before you move in with another person, or you're joining, you're getting married or whatever, that you're being completely honest about anything that's happened in the past before you can move forward. You may be finding out, some of you may be finding out some it feels kind of shocking, but it may not be. It may be shocking. I feel like for the other person, they feel like it's very shocking to you, but it's like, oh, okay. And it could be vice versa. Maybe you feel like you need to tell somebody something. They're like, oh, okay. Something that you think they want to leave you for if they found out, but you feel compelled to tell them because you don't want to enter in this thing being dishonest. It's that kind of energy for Aquarius this month. Is like confessional. These are confessions. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta do that. I feel like for some of you, you're just putting it out there, and you want it to work in your favor, but you also realize that. And I feel like for some of you, maybe that's where other relationships went downhill. Is that you should have been more honest about where you stand with certain situations, instead of kind of standing back and let the chips fall as you're more so willing now to open up and really talk about what you want and what you expect. And maybe there's some things that you need to get off your chest before you guys can fully move forward. Okay. Or it could be vice versa. Maybe the person that you're with has something to get off of their chest. Okay. But in the very end, I feel it all works out. It works out for you guys, that whatever you thought, because I feel like some of you think, okay, if I do this, if I say this, it's going really good now, but we might break up. It's actually going to do the opposite. Okay. I feel like, because you got here in your outcome, you have the Ace of Cups. And I do feel like this is showing you there's different phases. You just moving to one phase to the next within a relationship, and things are going to move forward as planned. You have the King of Swords here. This is still in your outcome. The King of Swords here in reverse. I kind of feel like this is you coming up in your reading. But then with this Five of Cups, so I want to say something about the King of Swords, but wait a minute. With this Five of Cups here, I'm looking at it as this King of Swords in reverse is kind of like your typical knee-jerk reaction, in a sense. Are those? Oh wow, I never hear geese over here. It's kind of a knee-jerk reaction to almost want to immediately reject it, something, because it kind of feels as if, how can I describe this? You know how it feels like if you confess something to a person, right? And now you've given them this secret. Now you almost feel as if they have some type of power over you because they have knowledge of this secret. Like immediately I feel like that's how you're going to feel, but at the same time it's like, whew, I'm glad I got that shit off my chest, and I'm glad that they're still dealing with me because they're still dealing with you. They're not leaving you alone. They're still gonna deal with you, and I really feel like it's gonna make the love that you do, the love that you two do have stronger. But you got to get this confessional. You got to get this off your chest. And this is just like a prayer. I feel like the Five of Cups to me is not always just a sad card. This is appreciation for what you're leaving behind because you still have your two cups here. Your cups are still here. Nothing has left except the old stuff, all the partying, all the, maybe some drinking. I don't know. But I feel like for you, it's here. You're not, this person's not leaving. They're still there with you. And that's the theme of what this month is about. It's all about commitment, for good, for bad, for the long term. But we have to be, this is teaching you to open up and to trust the partner that you're with, and to trust yourself. Because I feel like for some of you, you have been thinking like, okay, I'm, even though that's not the best way to be, like you want to keep certain things to yourself. You see how that has impeded the progress in your old relationships, and it just did not go anywhere, and you don't want that to happen with this one. So that's why you're willing to just take the chance and open up. And once you do and you guys are able to talk about it, you're going to be glad that you did, because again, they're still going to accept you. Nothing has changed. Or maybe it's you still accepting this other person for whatever they had going on in their past. And it's giving you the confidence that you need to be able to move forward within this relationship, okay? And continue to build on what you know is to be true about this person, okay? Because y'all ain't about to get in nothing willy-nilly anyway. So you had to take a calculated risk, and you did it, and it worked. All right, guys, I love you. I'll see you next month. Bye.